Yay! Most likely.
For the sexual thrill!
I'm not. One sec. There we go. Using the right mic now. I do not play Fortnite. Game's trash, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I have a premiere for my Kingdom Hearts 3 episode coming up in like a half hour. That's currently uploading. Probably not a good idea to be streaming while that's happening. Just wait for the premiere to be over. But I'm stupid. Fuck it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is awesome.
I'm good. There's gotta be a way to move this goddamn thing.
Alright. I will now bring some excellent entertainment to your stream.
What's that?
Welcome to ASMR with Yunhill.
Fucking guy. This fucking guy. I'm trying to find a place to put this so it's not in the way. It's good.
You know what? I'm gonna rebind the quick save.
Okay. There, that's better. Now it's all not all in the fucking way. Alright. I think I'm okay. I'm not the worst at it, I guess. Won't claim to be a god.
Ah, shit.
That too.
Well. Apparently I can't bind it to the button I want to. That's cool.
Hold on. I'm changing my HUD layouts and shit.
Yeah, you change that HUD layout. Change it hard.
I am.
And deep.
Yada yada. Okay, let me switch around my shit first. It says it down at the bottom. Please learn to read, people. Hate when people do that shit.
What's it say down at the bottom?
People are asking, what game are you playing? Like, nigga, fucking read, please. It says it
Whoa.
in big silver letters right there. Learn to read, please. You don't know how to read? Then, okay, how have you made it this far in life? That's my
For real.
That's my legitimate question to you, sir. Yeah. My upload speed is probably suffering right now. So I'm not sure what that noise meant from Heal, but okay. The end pass? Well, I'm 50% black. Yes, my dad's black, my mom's white. So yes, I can say the word nigga all I want. Well, I appreciate that, Fortnite.
And I'm friends with him, so I can too.
Is that how that works?
My godfather's also half black.
My
Therefore,
grandmother's
if him and
sister's boyfriend's black.
Therefore, if Gur and my godfather are in the same room, they make one black guy if they hold hands.
Yeah. The stream may be going pretty shit right now because I'm also uploading a fucking Kingdom Hearts episode. So if there's dips in quality or it lags a little bit, that's why. Can I donate? To what? Y'all can. That's up to you. I'm trying to get a laptop, yo.
I have a question, Gur.
What's up?
So, if you hold hands with another half black man, is it possible to siphon the black out of him and infuse the white in you into him so he becomes a white guy and you become a black guy?
I've not tried. But if you want to donate to the channel, there is a link in the description. Streamlabs/this is Gur.
If you want to donate, go to twitch.tv/HealNeil. Scroll down and click the PayPal thing. And the donations go right to Garage. I promise.
He's lying to you.
It does not. Who are you going to believe?
That's racist.
A little. Okay, Barry, I'm sorry.
Right, after I finish this quest, I'm gonna register for fucking God damn it! I just noticed I need to move this shit. I want the goddamn balance gauge. Quit fucking with my emotions. Damn it. Here. Okay, 60% is too small. 80% save. Shit, cancel. Save. Okay. There we go. Much better. Hey, Andrea. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Blah, 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 blah. Five more minutes remaining on that thing. It's pretty darn
What
neat.
thing?
My upload.
Ah.
Ta-da. Yeah, Andrea, I'm actually uploading my second episode of my Kingdom Hearts 3 thing with MJ and stuff. I don't fucking know. I like a lot of games.
True, he does.
Speaking of which, we gotta try that World War Z thing. I have that downloaded, but never played it.
You got it?
Yeah, you bought it for me, remember?
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
I actually entirely forgot.
Yeah, you bought it for me. Yeah, I'm actually probably gonna end stream to head over there in a sec, because that's it says 5 more minutes before that's ready. Let me see. Yeah, it says 4 minutes. It's at 96%. So once that's done uploading, or rather, when can somebody please watch like the premiere page and let me know when that's gonna premiere? Because I'll end stream and go head over there so we can watch that.
I was about to ask how a truck got into a building, but, you know, nukes.
I know, right? 8-minute stream.
Wow, Gur, how could you do that to your fans?
I'm giving them a fucking 40-minute video of awesomeness. So let's deal with it, I guess. Yeah, if I'm gonna be ending stream and shit pretty soon here, there's no point in really you know, getting into a dungeon at the moment. It's fine. Everything's fine. We'll just go kill random shit. I didn't really care for the song, so probably not. No, one sec. Let me switch classes real quick. Oh shit, I'm only level 4. Fuck. Shit ass. Shit. It sucks. I need to go grind a little bit then. I mean, she is pretty freaking trash at the game. Just saying. She was making a lot of stupid mistakes. So I had to point them out. That's at 94%. I mean 98% rather. Sorry. No, this will be fun. Okay, that's a lie. It won't be fun. I haven't. I've been kind of holding back on it. Because I want someone that I trust to, like, you know, give a review of the game to see whether or not I should bother wasting my money on it. Like, not to say it's a bad game. It's just, you get what I mean. Like, Jump Force, I wasted my money on that. It was a waste of money. Fucking Dissidia was a waste of money. And yes, I do have Discord. It's in the description of literally every video I've ever put out. I heard there were a lot of glitches and stuff that were happening in it. Like I said, I'm gonna wait to see, like, is it getting good reviews and crap before I bother to get it. Because that's, you know, 60 bucks I can't get back. Which could be spent on something different, you get what I mean? That I would actually use. So, like, I'm gonna see how it's doing first before I buy it. Probably. I think we did that. We did do that pretty late, so. White mage training. This is fun. He'll said he'll be back. His PC crashed. Fuck it, let's try to take one of these things down. Ah, the glory of being a healer. Yeah, I just killed something nearly twice my level. Simply because I'm a healer and good. Just heal myself. Alright. I'll head over there in a sec. Trying not to die at the moment. Yep. Kitty is happy. Ow, fuck. Sophie is a happy kitty. I'll tell you this much: grinding is much easier as a a conjurer, because I can heal myself. This is wonderful. Like I'm fighting shit that's well above my level. Awesome. Alright, I'm gonna end stream not for about an hour or so we can go watch the premiere of this thing. Is it up? It's processing. So it should be up within the next 10 to 20 minutes. So I guess I can kind of keep up the stream, I mean. Let me know when the premiere starts, guys. Put it that way. Let me know when it starts, and we'll head over to that. Ow. Dick. See how wonderful that is? Being able to heal myself like that. Alright. I'm gonna move these things. What are you playing, Blaze King? Oh, Monster World? I started to play that, but then stopped. Only because that's one of those games where you have to have people to play with. If you don't, then it's a bad time. You get what I mean? Like, I know I've explained this before, but I'm stuck on the friggin' I can actually put that right there. I'm stuck on the T-Rex dude. You know, the furry T-Rex? Yeah, I'm stuck on him. And there is not really anything I can do about it. It's unfortunate, really. I'm gonna put that there. Safe. Alright, cool. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, I'm stuck on him. I was playing as a archer. But yeah, I couldn't beat him. Like I was using a water bow and everything. It was ridiculous. Like he was just able to 1 to 2 shot me, and there was just nothing I could do about it. The fuck happened to all my spells? Oh, wait, that's why. Okay. Okay. Switch back to Conjurer. Level 7. Try fighting the toad. Come here, bitch. Fuck you mean, target not in range. Come here, bitch. Come here, fucker. Don't pull me towards you, you fucking asshole. Come on, follow me. Yeah, this dude's double my level. It's looking like he's probably gonna kill me. I mean, as long as I pay attention to my health, it should be okay. Yeah, it was friggin' awful, man. And that guy just ruined me trying to kill that thing. I have both. This is my healer. Like, I just switched to a healer. Like, I can switch to different, classes. Like, I have an archer, red mage, and, I need to actually put those on here. One sec. Let's see, white mage, black mage. Yeah, my main class is red mage, but training my healer. Yep. Learning to be a healer. Yep, red fluke mage. Being able to heal myself is so nice. Yep, I have a little buffalo. See him? He's adorable. Like I have a black choker bow. I got this thingy. I got a little deer, a buffalo, that thingy, a finger, wind up thing. An otter wearing a hat. I got my little buffalo. Yeah, like I said, I used the longbow in Monster Hunter, and it works pretty well. It's just it's a bad time for the Anjanath or whatever. He just does too much damage. These ants need to chill the fuck out, I tell you that much. Yep, I don't pretend to understand it either. I need to heal myself. Heal. There you go. We're good. See, this is actually fine as long as I keep an eye on my health. Yeah, like for me... Hello? Don't worry about it, it's fine. I'm coming. I gotta run away from this thing. Yeah, it's. What do you think of Heroes? Oof. Yeah, my little buffalo's doing his best. No, this is Conjurer. Well, I want Blue Mage just for the sake of the novelty, and there was a dude that was offering, you know, to fucking train me in it. Yeah, I'm doing fucking White Mage right now, or at least trying to get White Mage. Reason why? Because getting into dungeons and being able to take care of myself like that is helpful. What? Oof. I don't know. Why? My little buffalo's name is now Moop. Then. I have a little buffalo friend. Yeah. What's that spoons? I don't know. Oh. I'm hungry now. One sec, guys. I'm checking my Discord. People are. I'm getting friggin' messages and shit. Notifications. Mr. Sam Whitwer is live. Speaking of which, wonder what he's playing. What's his story? They're just there for fun. See how cute he is? He's adorbs. Look at my little buffalo. He's doing his best. Yeah, that premiere probably still hasn't started. On my end, it says it's still processing. It's 95%. My Kingdom Hearts episode. Uh-huh. We're gonna move places. Let's see if we can find more fates and crap. Because these peoples are not giving much XP. I know. They need to just go ahead and make Union Cross into an MMO like this. Why they haven't yet is beyond me. And for that matter, Final Fantasy. When the fuck are you gonna have a Kingdom Hearts event? Like, bruh, there should be everybody running around in fucking Organization 13 cloaks and having fucking keyblades. But yet we don't have that. Probably. But like, damn it, have a Kingdom Hearts event. Hell, have a Full Metal Alchemist event. Why not? Mabinogi's had them before. Square Enix, you own goddamn, Full Metal. Oh, those guys two-shot me. Okay. Noted. So I very obviously cannot handle those yet. But yeah, they should have a Kingdom Hearts event in this. Well, not necessarily, because in Brave Exvius, they've had Kingdom Hearts events. And that's also another Final Fantasy game. That's the Final Fantasy mobile gacha game. They've had Kingdom Hearts events on there before. Huh? Yep. So it's not like... No, I mean like, because Square Enix owns FMA. They own the publishing rights and crap to FMA. So, like, a Full Metal Alchemist world is possible in Kingdom Hearts. A collab event for this game is possible. It's just they don't fucking do it. But Square Enix does own the rights to FMA.
You do realize your things are not from Europe.
Alright, things going, guys. So, I'm gonna end stream and we're gonna go hop over to the premiere. I will start streaming back again when it is done. So, see ya.